Good evening and welcome to Kerslake Road for this evening's first national-sized playoff eliminator of the 23-24 season as Bath City take on Braintree Town. For City, this is their first visit to the playoffs since the 2020 season when they finished fourth, but then went out at the first attempt by losing to Dorking Wanderers. City have made two changes today from their defeat by Averley back on Saturday. Back into the side comes Joe Rains and Ewan Clark. For Braintree, recent years have been something of an up and down event. In the 2010-11 season, they were promoted to the National League, going as far as the playoffs 4 years later. However, they were then relegated the following year. And whilst 2017-18 saw them go back up once more to the National League, they only remained there for a season. Kerslake Road this year is known as the Rare Breeds Meat Stadium, holding heaven knows how many head of cattle, but at least 4,200 humans. City have contributed to that tonight by bringing a full coach load plus additional fans. Although with the two goalmouth ends both open to the elements, it's hard to generate much atmosphere. These two sides last met at 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦 Park back in February, with City going down 2-1. Before that game, Braintree were fifth in the table and City sixth. Exactly the same positions as they finished the league season. My name's Andrew Kerslake, and alongside me I have Mark Stillman for our match commentary this evening. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Andrew.
Hi, and well, a bit of a tough ask this, isn't it? And a rather long journey.
It's a rather long journey, tough ask. I think pressure's on both teams, really. The fact that Braintree were in the playoffs last year and failed at this stage. Yes, maybe the pressure's more on them for being the home team. They finished 8 points ahead of Bath City, but I don't think it's impossible, actually. I mean, Braintree's running, since they played City back in February, they've only played one game against a team in the top 7, so they haven't had maybe that stiff test that they needed going into it. And they lost at home on Saturday, which could be key as well. Both teams, of course, defeated at the weekend. Whereas Bath City, as I said, the last 12 games, Braintree have only played one team in the top 7. City have had to play 4, and you know, they've had tough matches against likes of Maidstone and Chelmsford and Worthing, all on the road, and performed well in all of them. I expect it to be a very cagey game, quite low scoring, and it wouldn't surprise me if it went the distance. Referee Niall Smith, the first time he's taken charge of a game involving either of these clubs, checked his whistle. Dan Hayfield is over the top of the ball, looking back at his teammates. A big evening for both teams. A go at the playoffs, a shot at promotion. Both teams a couple of victories away from a place in the National League. Referee about to blow his whistle now. And this playoff eliminator should have been underway, but it's a full start and we're finally underway as Dan Hayfield goes back to Dyer, who leathers it towards the left-hand side. Comfortably headed away back forward towards Parcell. Scored in both league games against Bath City as Hayfield misses out to Sears near the edge of the penalty area, squares it to Payne. 25 yards out, cuts in onto his right foot. Payne's shot is blocked from Dyer. Stood just inside the penalty area, so no trouble to Buse in the City goal as Clark gets the ball almost stuck within his feet. It's all the way through to Sims and the Braintree goal, but the hosts have made the brightest start of the two.
I think it always takes just a few minutes to really get going. Good City support away to the left-hand side.
Freer is beaten by a robust challenge from Altentop. His left Freer grounded and Braintree trying to break down the right-hand side with Altentop, who had made that challenge, shaped up a cross. It's a low one near the edge of the box to Sears, trying to hold off Dyer. He's got Blair in room on the right-hand side, plays it back to Blair. Running at Greenside, comes last off Greenside for the first corner of the game. Towards the near post, helped away, I think it was from Cook. Back to the taker though, he's unchallenged. Blackwell, the left-footed ball, and it's flashed in between everybody and gone around 3 or 4 yards wide. Abuses right post for a goal kick. Freer, 2 arms in the air, it's going to be an out swinger. And the City left, drives it near the penalty spot, and it was met by Cook, but not met sort of conventionally. Thrown back to Leon Davies, a former Roman. Now inside to Blair, near the corner of the penalty area. Has gone in between 2 City players. Kept his feet, he's gone to the ground. The referee says nothing doing. There's screams from Sears as well, but my initial impression is that Blair was always going to ground, regardless of whether there was going to be a challenge or not, and the goal kick is given.
And the referee was very decisive, indicated straight away that that was no penalty.
You don't want it decided on what I thought then could have been a soft penalty. And
I'm not sure Nino Dos Santos at Forest would agree with you, but there you go.
Hayfield onto the loose ball. Now Clark on the right side. He's onside. Clark, wider goal. Clark cuts inside onto his left foot. Calls it towards far post. Oh, and it was Altentop got a header away. Freer was waiting there unmarked. The Braintree defence went to sleep. I think Clark did the right thing in chopping back inside. In the end, it's gone behind for a corner, but a really lightning attack from the Romans. Davies now charging down the left-hand side to Blair, who's onside down the left. He's got two players waiting in the middle, wide of the penalty area. Blair cutting in towards the edge of the box. Blair goes for goal. It's blocked well from Smith, but Payne's onto the loose ball the quick. It's Leon Davies with a high hanging ball, which is going to be awkward for the goalkeeper, and he decides not to go for it, which is wise. Wilson throws it back to Greenslade, who launches one in towards Cook. It's quite driven and difficult, but he's headed it back to Clark on the City right, far side from us. Clark now cuts inside of three players, and he's held back and wins a free kick. It's a clear pull from Sears, and around 25 yards out. Frears there too. It's going to be Clark, right-footed. Comes off the Braintree wall, not fully away. It should be now Davies. It is to Clark near the edge of the box again, pretty much where he took the free kick. Left-footed ball in, headed away well though from the Braintree back line. Smith picks up the loose ball. Now Clark again on the right. City keen to keep him involved. Dinked in, but well headed out. Braintree can't fully clear their lines at the moment. City in possession on the left-hand side. Hayfield plays it back to Greenslade, and Hayfield again floats it to Range, who's dispossessed from Blackwell, who can now lead a charge forward. He's got Blair inside him. Blackmore might want to go alone. Blackwell hammers it over, and I'm not sure whether it is Range's fault for miscontrolling or whether the pass into him wasn't the best. As Hayfield picks up the ball in midfield, gets away from Adesanya and does well to slip it to the right hand side to Clark. He's trod on the ball almost, which stalls his progress, but he's managed to maintain it. Now on the right with Cook. Right footed ball in, it's not a bad one, but Grimwood gets over for Wilson, the head away, and Davies with a follow-up. Rains picks the ball up on the City right, plays it further wide to Clark. Inside to Smith now. Smith might fancy a go. He's crossed it in instead, and it just missed Wilson and Cook, and he's just got back now into his customary left-back role with Dyer sort of actually they've swapped for the time being, as Rendell's tried to catch Buse off his line from inside his own half, and it bounces harmlessly wide and out of play for a goal kick. Well, why not? Blackwell to take. Chips it towards the back post. It's a good routine. It's headed back towards Blair. Saved on Buse and gobbles up the loose ball as well. It was very cleverly worked. I think it was Alton Top actually, who sort of came completely off the shape, headed it inside, and had Blair got good connection, that would have been 1-0.
Yeah, Buse did well though to get down to close range. A well-worked move from them.
Helped inside now to Clark. Shapes up across towards the back post. It's missed everybody, but kept in from Freer on the byline. Chips it towards the back post. It's just headed away. It needed to be from Grimwood. Now hooked up towards Blair. He brings it under control and halfway. Knocks it over to the right hand side now to Wakefield. He's got no real support with him. Wakefield's going to try and cut inside of Greenslade. Wakefield does, skipping across the edge. Oh, it's late-footed shot, too close to Buse, who takes it. Played it inside to Sears. Now helped out further wide to Blackwell. It bounces against his chest. Davies offering an overlapping run. Blackwell is going to cut inside to try and get onto his right foot. Blackwell does shoot. It's well blocked. I think it was Smith threw himself in a way. Back to Davies on the Braintree left. He's got it again via Blackwell on the far side. Knocks it forward to Blackwell. Gets a cross in towards Payne in the penalty area. Payne needs support near the byline. Twists away, and City are screaming it's a goal kick. The referee thinks differently. Braintree have a corner from that sustained spell. Towards the near post, it's flicked on and flicked over from Grimwood for a goal kick. Back to Davies now, inside to Adesanya, shaping up a shot. He does, it takes a couple of deflections. Wilson's ball charged down, and now City can try and break if they have time. Smith is just beaten to it. Strength from Adesanya. That's the final action of the first half. Greenslade is robbed rarely. Sears has got it on the right hand side, slips it in behind a Wakefield, who pulls it now to Blair in the middle near the penalty spot. Blair needs to try and lay it off, and didn't really get a shot away at all in the end. Batten was in front of him. City managed to hammer it clear towards halfway. Blair didn't make the most of that. It looked a pretty presentable opportunity. But now Braintree is still on the attack with Blackwell cutting infield near the edge of the box. Blackwell might be urged to shoot. He does. Be wishing he hadn't. Instead of finding the back of the net, he's at the roof of the clubhouse, headed away from Rendell. Smith onto that loose ball and knocks it sideways to Dyer, now in right back this second half. Over to Clark on the right hand side, wants to run inside of Leon Davies. Dyer's offering an overlap. uses Dyer now. He's got 3 on the right-hand side, drills it across. Cook with a back heel, and it's not fully away. Payne then eventually does so. Could have maybe seen it out. Braintree just about got away with it as Clark now just keeps in play on the right-hand side, away from Blackwell. He's got away with him with ease, now near the byline. Inside the penalty area, Clark, he's overrun it, and it's cleared at the near post. Wilson's got it being held off near the edge of the box. Done well to play it out wide to Dyer, forces it a bit into Clark. 2 men on him, Clark, doubled up. Clark still cut inside of 2 of them though, stayed on his feet, dives in. Smith with a shot is blocked from Rendell. He received it from that tireless play from Clark. And Braintree know what such a strong threat he is. They had 2 men on him, neither of them could get in the way, and it eventually sees Smith's shot blocked and out now for a throw.
Yeah, that was really City's best attempt. Smith firing through quite a crowd of players, but Clark doing really well. I thought he was fouled as he ran into the box.
Isaac Lassalle on the bench, another option. Braintree trying to play their way out of trouble, which occasionally can get the heart rate going for fans. Floated over the top to Wakefield, who should get to this first. He does, plays it towards the middle, helped away though from Batten. Adesanya onto the loose ball, he's beaten Smith. Adesanya drags a shot, and it's a couple of yards wide of Hughes' goal, but there was a deflection. Just approaching 61st minute. Towards the back post, Greenslade importantly gets a header away. Wakefield. Alton top down the right, inside to Payne, near the edge of the penalty area. He slipped it in behind. Wakefield is on the side. He's got the ball back from the byline. Batten came charging in. It was Sears actually who pulled it back. He's got no short option. Got players crowding near the back post. No, he's gone low actually. It's Sears with a first-time shot, and it goes a couple of yards over. Clark dispossesses Adesanya. Now Hayfield charging through the midfield. But Braintree got numbers back, 6 of them behind the ball, and then another one in Blair, who helped out his team midway inside his own half. Adesanya collects the ball. He's given it away again to Freer. This time he's beaten Alton top to it. He's got Wilson in the box in space. Freer pulls it back to Smith on the edge of the box. Smith's got time to control. Smith shoots! Outstanding block from Rendell, who threw his body. No, I think it was Adesanya, in fact. He threw his body straight in the way. And having made 2 errors, he's bailed his team out. It's a corner towards the penalty spot. Batten heads it just wide. And out of play for a goal kick. Jack Batten scored in the league fixture here back in January 2023. Greenslade doesn't have to chest it away, but only to Payne near the edge of the area. Payne shaped up a shot. Instead, he squared it to Blackwell. Trying to beat Dyer. He's got the ball towards the byline. Blackwell's drilled it across. It's looped in the air from Batten. It's not fully away. Still near the penalty spot. Payne is trying to force the ball in. It's now to Leon Davies. Curls it. Curled it off target. Out of play for a goal kick. As Hayfield bustles away in midfield. Hammered away from Adesanya. Over the top for Blair. Might hold up nicely for Blair. Buse has come charging out of his box. Does enough. Blair's still got it under control. Buse scampers back to his line. Wakefield wide right of the penalty area. Inside to Adesanya. Now to Payne near the edge of the box. Payne with a left-footed drive. It's fumbled initially from Buse. Slipped out of his hands in these damp conditions. As Buse taking his time with this, he throws it out with purpose to Batten midway inside his own half. Now chips on over the top to Clark. It hits his back, but it's going to run kindly to him near the edge of the penalty area. Clark backheels it to Smith. Smith, wide to go. Smith shoots into the side netting. The angle was always against him, and Sims may have had it covered anyway, but it hits the side of the net rather than the back of it, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, good attempt by Smith though. Picking up on that overlap, running down the right-hand side and firing first time into the side netting.
Braintree leading scorer chips one over to the right-hand side. It's a glorious ball and collected from Wakefield. He's got man inside of him, but again Greenslade has snuffed him out. It's run loose to Alton top, midway inside the City half. He's going down off the ball at Hayfield. It's a attempt, I think it was a shot perhaps from Wakefield. Clark drives near the penalty spot. It's headed away. Dyer's beaten to the loose ball, and now it's one forward for Blair. He's got Greenslade to beat. Tom Smith is charging back to help his teammate. Blair near the edge of the box. Blair shoots low, and common theme, Andrew. Again, it's another one which is too close to Buse. Smith struggled to get the ball under control and dives in rather desperately and loses out. Now Blackwell's got it, just sprinting past halfway. 10 minutes remaining. Blackwell near the edge of the box. Blackwell shoots, and it's over the bar. Dyer just past halfway, switches it towards the middle, but it's easily intercepted from Payne as Leon Davis gets the ball from underneath his feet, but now he's exposed the space for Ewan Clark to utilise on the right-hand side. Swings it into the middle. It's a diving header from Cody Cook around 15 yards out. It goes a yard or so wide, and that would have brought the house down.
Yeah, Cook did really well, though, to get his head to that. Good cross in from Clark. Diving header from Cook about 18 yards out.
On top, throws it short. City need to keep their wits about them. Blair gets a cross in towards Blackwell in the penalty area, towards the near post. No real angle to shoot. It's helped away from Parcell. The referee takes a look at his watch and says that's that for the moment. End of 90 minutes. It's Braintree Town 0, Bar City 0. We're heading for extra time, Andrew.
We are indeed, and well, we said these sides were likely to be evenly matched, and I think every bit of evidence we've seen this evening proves that. Neither keeper really has had many serious saves to make. Busa, a couple of shots on goal, but easily collected. And City, more crosses into the box, probably proving more dangerous than anything else.
Referee Niall Smith gets this first period of extra time underway. 0-0 as Batten launches it long down the City left, where Cook heads it on to Wilson. Slight miscontrol, he's got onto the loose ball now. Wilson on the edge of the box, and he has hammered it over the bar. And it opened up quite kindly for him, albeit 20 yards out. He managed to shrug off Grimwood, but he got everything behind it, and he's put it way out the stadium. Goal kick.
There's a block of four-storey flats just behind that goal, and it looked as though it was heading towards the top window of those.
Picked up from Payne on the Braintree left-footed midfielder to Jaden Davis, wide man. He's cut inside a Dyer, and I think he's fouled. Yeah, he was, from Hayfield. One-man walling Clark, who's bouncing up and down to put him off. Blackwell does go for goal, and it's bounced it a couple of yards wide of Buse's left-hand post. City trying to create an overload in the box. Smith chips it in. It's too high, but it's going to be picked up from Clark, wide left. Infield now to Hayfield. Hayfield lines up a shot. It's charged down from Adesanya, who's about 30 yards out. Vassell plays it to the left-hand side to Clark, trying to get away from his opposite number 7 Blackwell, which he does. Left foot ball is not a bad one. Sims does well to take it with Cook. Ball was putting him off and running towards the goal. Starting to open up a little bit. Braintree looking to make a change. At the moment they've got Jaden Davis down the left-hand side, and he's fouled from Yeboah. Referee he's issued a yellow card. Adesanya plays it back to Rendell, who strides forward confidently to Lamb, who rides a challenger back. Now Blair, he tried to play the ball, I think, between the legs of Parcell. Didn't come off. Dyer was out of cover, but his clearance is charged down. Blair's onto the loose ball. Still Blair. Now Lamb just inside the box. Lamb! Oh, an explosive shot. It's only gone around half a yard over. Like a missile. It certainly hit it with some venom from 18 yards. Buse would have been beaten. Goal kick. Throws it down the line to Vassell. Does well to keep it in play and use his strength to hold off Blackwell. Now back to Dyer on the right. Turns away from Leon Davis. Dyer's ball in is deflected off Blackwell and spirals behind for a Bar City corner. So taking his time, Clark. Delivers, right-footed. Keeper's impeded, so he can't get to it. Hayfield near the edge. It looked like handball on the edge from Lamb. The referee didn't think so. City retrieve the second ball. Smith hesitates. He's fortunate to get there before Jane Davis. Now finds Vassell on the right-hand side. I must say, I thought Lamb got away with that. Is on the edge of the box. Is now Clark running at 2 men. Clark whips in the ball to the near post. Headed away only to Parcell. He can't get the ball under control. Parcell's trying to bulldoze his way through. Smith. Hayfield's shot is blocked, and it's gone behind for another corner. And there was real uncertainty in the Braintree backline then, all from that initial corner.
There's just that moment. We've seen it 2 or 3 times in the Brainfield defence when you suddenly really put pressure on and a number of players around them. They really look like they don't know who's picking who up.
Clark towards the back post. His header from Button is just off target and out of play for a goal kick. Again, he snuck in rather unopposed, I should say. It's getting late and it's behind. And Braintree breathe a sigh of relief. You've got to cut Yeboah in on goal, and he scored against Braintree earlier this season. Dyer with a diagonal ball. Cook flicks it inside to Yeboah. He's got Smith alongside him. Yeboah Plays it to Clark on the left-hand side, on towards the header. Smith headed away from Davies. City now piling on the pressure. They've shown some ambition in extra time this second half. Dyer clips it in, good header away from the Braintree back line of Rendell, and it's going to be a free kick for the Iron in their own box. Free kick is taken. It bounces towards the Braintree right, where Lamb slides in. Maybe lost his footing, but it looked a little uncomfortable challenge. Now they picked it up on the right-hand side. It's pulled back towards Blair's, not fully connected by him. Jaden Davis gets the ball under control, and again there's two City players in the way. Back to his feet. It's a heavy touch from Dyer, but into his stride. He's got space now to motor into Dyer. He's got Vassell on the right-hand side, the fresher legs of the substitute, the former Cardiff man, former £1 million player, turns inside of two men, leaves them falling over. Vassell left-footed shot! Oh, good save from Sims. It looked like it could have crept inside his left post, and it goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, Vassell did really well there. Two players on him. He just put on the afterburners, cut inside, and his shot, Sims happy to parry away for City's fourth corner of additional time,
which Clark will take on the right. Floats it. Oh, it's well headed away, but not fully cleared. It is now. It's Rendell who got the important interception. Smith helps it back to Hayfield. Again, a good shout and clearance away. Blackwell has done exceptionally well to get it under control. Now Braintree can try and break down the right-hand side with Jaden Davis. He's got Lamb in front of him and Blair. Still Jaden Davis. City have got plenty of bodies back. Davis wide of the box. Greenslade does so well to get his body in the way and clear. And
all the City players bar Yeboah.
Behind the ball, clipped in. On top had a free header. He's helped it up into the air. It's still not fully away. Grimwood's got it inside the box, wide left. Back heels it towards Payne, but Dyer did well to stand up. And I thought Vassell was fouled. He's sort of then taken the ball between his legs and out for a throw-in. Clark near the penalty spot towards the head of Dyer, gets in between them both. Batten tries to keep it in play, and Altentop clears it against Batten, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Comes to Knight.
Clock running down here. 2 minutes 50 seconds, I make it.
Plus whatever is added on at the end of this as well. But yeah, that'll be the end of 120 minutes. 2 hours of football, not a goal between them. Still time. Leon Davis up to Blair on halfway. Pushes it back to Adesanya with a crossover ball on the right-hand side to Davis, who's on the side. Brings it down well, near the byline. Plays across, it's in! Blackwell, and that's probably the goal which sends Braintree Town into the semi-finals of the playoffs in National League side. The Bar City players have crumpled to their knees. They are absolutely destroyed because they have done little wrong. One player has skipped in behind the back and Blackwell has hammered it into the roof of the net. The City players need to regroup. There's still a couple of minutes left, but it feels like their season might be coming to a close. It's Braintree 1, Bar City 0 in the 118th minute.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, in fact, the goal was really made by a superb crossfield pass to Davis from one side of the pitch to the other, and it just opened up the City defence, just gave them that little bit of extra room, ball into the box and then fired into the goal.
Tom Blackwell with his 9th goal of the season. Scored 7 of them here. None of them have been celebrated quite like that. Adesanya's gone on the ground. The physios are on. There's barely enough time to mount another attack. I think the messages to the players are just go for it. Lose 2-0 if you want. There's no goal difference. What they've got to do from this kick-off is hit the ball somewhere near the corner and pen Braintree in. Hayfield goes back to the keeper. There'll be 4 minutes left for Bar City to try and extend their season a little bit longer. They go long. It's headed away from Grimwood. Dyer with a follow-up one. Yeboah has beaten to it. It's helped all the way back to Buse. Braintree have 4 minutes to clinch a place in the semi-finals. One step further than last year, but a long ball forward is awkward for Sims. Oh, it's nearly bounced straight in. It was the clearance from Buse. It's gone behind for a corner. That would have been one of the most stunning stories you've seen in football, let alone this evening.
Sims just stretching for that with the outstretched hand, so nearly went over it and into the back of the net. City in the dying seconds of this match then with their final corner of this half.
2 players have been told to stay back near the edge. I would send another player in there. They have around 3 minutes remaining. Corner floated in. Oh, it's just missed for Sal. I think it's come behind. It's another corner to Bar City, and I would say throw somebody else in there, Clark, to take this corner. It needs to be a good delivery. There's 2 minutes of added time to extra time. Ball in, Mrs. Batten is headed back via a Braintree defender. Clark is in room near the byline. Can he get another ball in onto his left foot? It's a good one to the back post. Oh, it's miscontrolled. It's gone behind for a corner. Fortunately, it just went through the legs of 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗏 on the far post. Braintree are clinging on for dear life. Clark swings it in towards the near post, headed away from Rendell, not fully cleared. Dyer's shot on the turn is blocked. Batten gets there first. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗏 inside the penalty area. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗏 step over, left-footed shot is charged down. There's so many bodies in there. Yeboah's shot is blocked. It's now with 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗏 again. Can he get past his man? 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗏 near the byline. He can win a corner. Oh, he nearly went through the legs of Sims. It's gone behind. It's another corner. Smith is wrestling for the ball off the Braintree stopper. They're being asked a lot of questions in these closing stages to try and see this game out. They're going to have a local derby with Chelmsford to look forward to. The referee is getting ready to blow full time on Bar City's season. As he just does then, Bar City sadly out in the playoff eliminator. They have given absolutely everything, not just this evening, but for the whole season. And all what has been between them and a place in the semis is Tom Blackwell's goal, 2 minutes from the end of extra time. It's absolute gut-wrencher for those players who are shaking the hands of the Braintree squad. I'll quickly say, well done the Braintree time, because they were in this game as much as Bar City were. It's cruel on any team to lose. I feel desperately sad, of course, as a Bar City fan. It's the one goal which separates the teams, and what has been a marvellous season for Jerry Gill, a story which has had so many thrilling chapters, but there's no happy ending here in Essex. Braintree 1, Bar City 0. And Andrew, it's really upsetting for Bar City to be knocked out in this manner.
It's upsetting, but I'm sure when City fans come to reflect on this, I saw both the previous playoffs that they were in, and I have to say they didn't perform in those 2 matches. Tonight they did perform. They really threw everything at this. They matched Braintree side for side. There was that one moment, but even after that goal, City piled forward. They forced 4 corners in succession in those dying stages of the match. And I think that phrase, don't leave anything out there, is certainly true of the City players tonight. They did everything they possibly could. There's going to be some very tired legs and some very tired players there. Jerry Gill will be enormously sad not to make progress in this, but I think he can be proud of his team and proud of the supporters who stayed on right to the end here.
I couldn't agree more with all of that. I mean, none of those players will have any regret. They didn't play ball. It was a glorious crossfield ball to set up the goal, kept in brilliantly on the byline, played across, and Blackwell got in well. So you might say it's one lapse which has cost them, but I mean, they had to keep their concentration for nearly 2 hours. They've had to travel all this way. They've had to come to Essex for a second time in 4 days. It has asked a lot of this team. And I say team in the strongest possible sense, because I travel with these players regularly, and I can tell you something. I have not seen a team as united as this group. And I hope that plenty of them will still be here in a couple of months' time when the new season starts afresh. Because if they are, they will be in the playoffs again at the very least next season. The Braintree players have gone in for a collective huddle, largely because the second half of this season they have kept together, because the first half they were swapping players at regularity, but instead they've gone for a settled side, which has aided them, and that is why they have gone a step further. They'll travel to Chelmsford, the short journey, on Saturday, looking for revenge after 2 3-0 defeats against the Essex outfit earlier this campaign. They might be without Dom Odesanya, who was barely moving when he came back on, but their journey goes on a little bit longer, whereas Bar City's unfortunately has ended here. Final thoughts from you, Andrew, on what's been a a fine, encouraging season, unfortunately ending on this sour note.
It's been a great and enjoyable season. We've seen some cracking football since last August when the season began. I'd also say, I mean, great support from the City fans here tonight. They were in good voice. It's a very long way to come midweek.
Well, it's a jubilation for Braintree Town as their players have now made their way to the changing rooms to no doubt continue the celebrations. It'll be a disappointed room for Bar City as their players will be forced to lick their wounds and perhaps just reflect upon what's been a good 46-game season and what had been a good performance this evening. They're just very unfortunate to come out the wrong end of a 1-0 defeat. So ecstasy for the Iron and disappointment for the Romans. Thank you so much for tuning in from here, the Rare Breed Meat Co Stadium. It's the end of the 23-24 season for Bar City in the playoff eliminator. But what a journey it has been. Enjoy what's left of your evening, and we'll be back in a couple of months' time.